Hello everyone, welcome back to our videos. And yeah, it's been some days now, but yeah, I can't get them out as fast as I would like to, work and stuff like that. Well, anyway, the good thing, what I love about making these videos is that I publish them, and then people come and discuss it, and also watch other people's video, and we can discuss the rules, of course, and strategy and tactics, and uh, and also discuss some BGG. It's nice. It's like a community we've got between us making the videos and the guys watching them, and we talk to each other. We've got discussions with Grant. He's also doing his German solo playthrough as we speak. Well, quite. He's faster than me actually, but it's always nice to have other people to discuss various problems. There are points, some points in the rules that still are not quite clear to both of us, so we try to discuss them, and it's the good thing is that we kind of look out for each other, trying to catch some mistakes and stuff like that, so we can make these videos and the whole experience as good as we can for all those of you who will be watching at some point these videos, and decide if you like or don't like the game, or looking for tips or examples of play. But okay, enough said. Before proceeding, let me show you a little bit. Well, that's the big picture. Okay, I don't think I can get it better than that. And the situation, well, the situation is critical, but not desperate at the moment. I mean, my of course, we've got the Soviets got what they've got 3 cards, and so they will get easily. They can get they'll get 2 impulses, easily get 2 impulses, and if it depends on how we combine auxiliary and command cards, it could go. They could have, out of the 3 cards, they could have 3 commands, which would mean at this point of the game 3 activations for their fronts. Whereas we're down to 1 card, we've got only 1 activation, and for only 1 corpse. So yeah, that's not looking. But in general, my plan has worked well. I mean, I have retreated in well, more or less defensible positions in good order. No major gaps have appeared until now. I mean, yeah, there is a gap right now, which was unavoidable at this moment. I had to choose between choose the lesser evil, but I'm quite confident I have made the let's say the right decision. I mean, the right now mobile crew Popov, which has not yet reached its objective. I mean, it's we're close to the end of the turn 1, which means 3 days, and they haven't managed to reach their objective, which was in my setup, and it was just here. I mean, it was just hexes, a couple of hexes away from them, from their starting positions, and they had already took Slavyansk. So yeah, but they didn't manage to. Well, it took some effort, but they didn't manage to. So now what we're seeing here is that the Voronezh front is building up for a great attack, which will come either this turn by one of the rest of the cards, or early next turn. We're going to see some action there, and yeah, things well, I will have to wait for how it goes here, and then decide what I will do with the 3rd Corps and the 40th Corps, and whether we'll keep 2nd SS Corps here or try to retreat them back to the 4th Panzer Army area. Well, the other main build-up, I mean, they have gone two ways. The one is here, the other one, the 3rd tank army, is coming here, and also the 69th army, and the some, I think, in the next impulse or the last one, the 40th army is going to also come down here. So I think the next big set of battles will be here for Volchansk, and yeah, depending on what it happens, then I'll see if I fall back to Kharkov and try and, you know, set myself up for a siege of Kharkov, or I will decide to do something else entirely. I'm not expecting any other units to join me so in turn 2, so I try to keep my units alive, so that at some point I can rebuild them, and yeah, that's what I'm planning to do. So let's get to our game, and this is the last card we've got. It's for the 40th army. We can activate it, and as I've explained in an earlier video, well, I could have done it earlier and, you know, with better odds, but it seems to me important, especially since we're the defender, to have the last impulse, to keep it. If I'm able to, if things don't get very desperate, I will keep it until the last card, so I get the last impulse, and maybe then I can you know, set myself up a little bit better, and well, generally be able to react to what happens in the next impulse. So just for the record, it's our German impulse, turn 1, so we've got 1 card in hand, no cards in draw pile, so I can pass, and I will pass. So let's get back to the Soviet impulse, to another Soviet impulse, and let's go and draw some cards. Okay, so let's draw 2 cards. Yeah, no, I haven't shuffled them, sorry. So this is 1, and yeah, this is 2. Okay, so yes, so that's no brainer, that's primary, and that's supplemental. So this is going to be the auxiliary card, and this is going to be the primary card. And again, we as always, the first thing we do is check for the event, and the event is again turn 1 to 5 command delay, which would instruct us to reshuffle the card back into the draw pile, but now it's not going to happen, because the Soviet hand is less than 4 cards, isn't it? Just let me check it. And command events, so command delay, do not apply if less than 4. Yeah, that's what I thought. Less than 4 cards in the Soviet pod, just 1 right now, so no command delay. This is going to be our auxiliary card. So let's get to the 40th. Let's get to the 40th army, and it's the only army right now that it's all good. It has also got a reserve unit, so I'll have to be extra careful and not forget about it. The way I have forgotten about it when watching one of Grant's videos and forgot to tell him there's another one. Sorry about that, Grant. But let's get to the 40th army. So this is 40th army right here. It's just, you know, these 2 units, and there's also yeah, and there's also 1 unit in reserve. So yeah, that's what we've got to work with. And 40th army has its own objective market. So well, first let's check the command card, and the first command in the command card: 40th Army, activate all units in army. And this is what's going to happen. And next I will check if activation is possible. The requirement is for at least one non-isolated unit to be on the map, or one unit in the reserve box. Both are true, so the activation is going to happen. So the first thing, we place the 40th Army objective, and as you remember from the first Guards army, when we put that into play, they enter play these markers when their army is activated for the first time in the game, and we place them first in the hex that is on the back. This is the front, and in the back of the map of the counter, there is a list of hexes, and the first hex is their first destination. And yeah, quite unsurprisingly, I would say, their first is 0311, which you can't see, but let me zoom out a bit and show you. Yeah, I'll have to change the position of my phone. So 0311 is well, I was expecting this, Belgorod. So they're going to be the way of Corps Rouse. So no, I think for the time being I will put it on top, so I have to keep that in mind for movement especially, but you know, lift offset so that I can see there is a German unit down there. And now well, let me see if we can place my camera a little bit better so everything is showing. Just give me a moment. No, Mike, that's not the way to do it. One moment, please. Well, it's marginally better, but still you can see the objective, the army. And yeah, what is going to happen, what I expect to happen, is that the infantry will come down this road and try Belgorod. We've got set up some, there is a path they can follow and, you know, get here, but it was unavoidable. I didn't want to let their tank surround these units, so I had to try and you know, keep my lines close. Also, I wanted a unit in Belgorod just in case things went very wrong somewhere, and I didn't want to leave the town just, you know, without actually the city of Belgorod without any protection. So they have to fight to get it. So okay, so we have checked, we've placed the objective, and now we are going to movement methods. And let's see which movement methods we will follow. This is no, the units, it's an army that's got an army objective which will follow. You can easily I mean, sorry, I can't. No, that's better. I mean, you can easily get carried away and go to 921 Soviet movement method side, because they're going to be used turns 1 to 4. So but no, if you look before 921, it's the exceptions. ARM, which says it's just same page, previous column, that says active units with an army objective, which is the case, move according to 926, and also unsupplied units move to, but let's not worry about supplied, Soviet supplied just yet. So 926, it's got a different set of methods. and they roll descending order, and each unit moves according to the following methods instead of the methods in 921, but still subject to the conditions 923, 924, 925, quite expectedly. So let's get let me zoom a little bit to my units and see. No, zoom is not as good as it like to be, but okay. Selector 2, selector 3. So we're checking, and you know what, I'm going to try, in one of Grant's video, another guy that is watching our videos and participating in the discussion, John Brown, he's going through his Soviet solo, I think, right now, but I don't think he's making a video, has suggested the system to distinguish between activated units, units that have already moved, and the units that have also attacked or completed any other action, and Grant is already using it, and I think I'll give it a try, use it for some impulses and see if it helps me. Well, now it's just 2 units. I don't think it would matter very much, but I'm going to give it. So John Brown's system is suggesting when to turn them counterclockwise. I already turned them clockwise 45 degrees to indicate they have moved, but he has suggested an improvement over the procedure. Turn the units this way to show that they're the active units. I mean, when you activate a whole army, maybe that this doesn't matter so much, but when you activate units, just units, like previously we activated 2 stacks or 2 units of the 6th army, we had to keep in mind that who these active units were. So that's a nice system, actually. I'm going to give it a try. So let's get back to our objectives. Okay, first objective, take VP hex, which according to the rules is identical to 921 method 1, including urban infiltration. So no, it's not going to happen, because no German VP hex that can be taken right now. I mean, they can't even reach with their movement points a VP hex. So okay, next one, and this is where things start to get interesting. Adjacent to German unit, which is identical to the now infamous method 8. The one, yes, the one that requires you to move adjacent to a German unit, but not adjacent to a Soviet unit, and then you have to modify that by 925. And yeah, there's a lot of discussion and between us and YouTube, and also some questions have been posted on BGG on the the recommended way of implementing these, and especially the tactical adjustments. But okay, let's get started. I mean, let me zoom out so we can get the. Yeah, I think that covers the area where they would get, but let me try to place my phone a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's better. So, adjacent to the German unit, I mean the closest German unit is this stack of Corps Raus. Okay, let me see. Can we? It's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4. Yes, it's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4. No. 1, 2, 3, no, it's good, it's 5 here. So the only possible hex for this unit to be is that one, but according to method 8, it's sorry, forgot about the most important, move to an unoccupied hex. Okay, everything but this one, which they can reach. Yeah, unoccupied. But I know some of you are wondering, but if it can go here, maybe then it would adjust to an unoccupied hex. No, that's not the I don't think that's the correct order. I mean, you have first to meet the requirements of the method as the method suggests, and reach and reach the unit, and then you adjust. You can't start by I will reach it via adjustments. So it calls for an occupied hex, and the only hexes that they can reach and are unoccupied are 1, 2, 3. They can't reach this hex. They can't. We can take into account this hex. Can we? No, they would have to go through our zone of control, so that's not happening. So let's see, can they reach, let's say here, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5. No, there's no way they can reach this hex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4. Yeah, 5. No, and of course the same goes for the unit underneath. It is also infantry unit with the same movement allowance. So that was method 2. 3, closer to German unit and army objective. Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to do. Locate the German unit in or closest to the active army objective marker hex. Yeah, that's the one. Not the closest units, the closest unit to the objective or in the objective. You can beat that. Again, yeah. The closest German unit is, of course, this one, but the closest German unit in the objective, you can't beat closeness when you're stuck to the objective, I guess, is this one. So, locate the German unit. Okay, we have located. Among German units, no. Prefer the unit in the hex closest. No, you can't beat that. That's the closest. Move as close as possible to that German unit, entering a hex adjacent to that unit if able. Okay, if starting at, no, they're not starting, so they're going to do that and go as close as possible. So yeah, let me see, where would they go? Go 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, could they just, yeah, you haven't seen total, but this is what matters. They could have ended here, but here is what, 1, 2, 3. Here is 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Let's go to the no, prefer the, okay, move. No, the preferences are for the units to select. It says move as close to that German unit. Okay, then okay, if able, if starting. Okay, so there are 2 hexes actually they can reach and be the same distance. Let me count again. Here is 1, 2, 3, and here is again 1, 2, 3. Okay, so tiebreaker and movement method tiebreakers. Closest to the unit objective. Okay, they're equidistant. If in play, be an empty hex. So yeah, that's where it goes because it's an empty hex. Okay, let's get to our other unit, and yeah, again the same. There are 2 possibilities again, because it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the 2 possibilities. They're both, as we've said, equidistant from the unit that's stacked with the objective. So tiebreakers again, closest, they're both equally close. Empty hex, no empty hex now, both are occupied. And next, the hex furthest in the compass direction indicated on the objective marker. So let's see that. Yep, that's west, and west, let me remind you, in this map is down, so it's this way. So yeah, between these 2 hexes, yeah, this one is further west. So this is where this will and yeah, said follow the system of join, but forgot to actually do that. So after movement, yeah, then this unit, and that's all. Only 2 units to move. So yeah, that's the end of movement, and yeah, the other movement method would also be you know, closer to objective and stuff, but yeah, okay. So that's the movement, and I don't think we get no, they're not adjacent to any German unit, so we don't have to check for any attack. So yeah, this command is over. I know I've said in earlier videos this impulse is over, but there is a slight difference and I want to get the terminology right, because it might have an effect, it might have some significance in later turns. So I'm trying to get into the habit of you know, naming things correctly. It's not another impulse, it's another command, another Soviet command will be executed within the same impulse. I know it's just a minor detail, but you know, trying to get it straight, it might or it might not have a significance in later turns. So let's get back to the Soviet cards. So out goes this card, and this card comes in, and now we've got another to execute another command for the Voronezh front, and let's see what this command will be. And 69th Army, yep, okay, it's again no, it's order written activate, but it's now units, and that's where I think John Brown's suggestion will become handy. Activate up to 2 unit stacks in 69th Army, not an EVP hex, and all army reserves. Okay, no reserves for the 69th Army, so we get here, and the preferences. So let's get to where the 69th Army is, currently is, and yeah, we'll examine which units we will activate. Okay, let's see if we can select the units. Of course the activation is going to happen. No non-isolated units. Here these with the white band on top are the units of the 69th Army, these 4 units, and this one here, and yeah. Okay, first thing we have to, okay, first let's activate the units and then check for the objective relocation. So because you have to have active units, don't you? And let me see. Okay, okay, there are 5 units along with no stacks. 69th Army, no, just the units by themselves. So preferences: prefer supplied, everyone is supplied turn 1, not surrounded. Yeah, no one is surrounded. See highest strength. Okay, this guy is out, not getting to get activated, but we'll still get 4 units. Most units, again no, and then lowest selector. So the units with the 2 lowest selectors, so that would be yeah, these 2, 10 and 11. So yeah, that's handy, you know, that's good. See now how useful it is to distinguish, because we can now go back and check for objective relocation, and you know, check for objective relocation, but not with without the fear of, you know, coming back to the come back to our units and having forgotten which units were active. So we've got our 2 units with the lowest selector, and let's check objective relocation. And you know that's going to be interesting. Let me get it a little bit. That's where the objective is, and it's a Voronezh front. But okay, let's see the conditions for location. If any active or inactive unit in the active Soviet front, and this is where things get interesting, because let me go through them and I'll explain. Occupies the objective hex. Okay, no, German unit occupies the objective hex. Occupies a hex adjacent to the German occupied objective hex. Yes, there is a unit adjacent to the hex. So you say, okay, but no, you have to be very careful. It says active or inactive units. Yes, this unit is inactive, but it has to be a unit of the active Soviet front. Okay, maybe the guys of Voronezh front are mad because this unit of Southwest front gets in there, you know, in the way of their objective, but it's not the active front. The Southwest front is not the active front. This is, yes, inactive unit next to objective, but not of the active front. It would have to be a Voronezh front unit in order for the objective to be relocated. And yeah, let me read it again, because you know, sometimes we just if any active or inactive unit in the active, yeah, it's clear, in the active Soviet front. Active front is Voronezh front, the unit is Southwest, so no objective relocation. So let me get the focus back to these 2 units. Maybe zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I think that's good there. Okay, so movement method 69th does not have an army objective, so it's standard the A set of methods used throughout turns 1 and 4, no matter what. So first, take VP hex. Not possible. Both infantry, they cannot take. They can, yeah, they will reach Belgorod probably, but they cannot take because it's not empty. It's nothing. So let's go to number 2, adjacent to VP hex and near objective. I mean, well, I mean, let's not forget that, and let me get this. Yeah, I'll do it the other way, but I don't want to get carried away because it's 69th Army and this objective is just for 40th Army. So just let me cover it a little bit. Hope I won't forget it later. So let's not forget that their objective marker is. Can you see it? Yeah, you can just. Yeah, but not by. Okay, you can see it here. So it's let me try and zoom out a little bit if I can. Yes, you can barely, but you can see it. So I can count. Let me just. Yes, I think I got it. Yeah, this will have to do. Okay, that's a tricky ascending order, adjacent to German VP hex and the near objective. So adjacent to this hex and the near objective, and yeah, can they get adjacent? So ascending order is said. I mean, there's zone of control here. The only way, yeah, maybe it was quite foolish, but I have left the door open here. So let's go ascending. This one, it can go. Of course, it can go here. It's zone of control, so it would have to go 1, 2, 3, skipping the zone of control, and 4. And yes, it can go, but is it closer to the objective? I would say yes, because this hex is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and the starting hex is this one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, okay. I have to make count again, because it says closer to, not doesn't say not same distance. It doesn't say not same distance like the other methods, but it clearly says closer to or within 4 hexes. Well, not it's with 1, 2, 3, 4. Not, it's not within 4 hexes, but it has to get closer to the unit objective marker. No, let's just count again. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this hex, that's the hex they can reach, they can go here, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, it's the same distance. So what they not going to move, are they? Oh yes. Yeah, then that's I mean yeah, it's clear, it's clear. It's quite clear. It says closure to. It doesn't, of course, offer any it's not making it crystal clear, I'd say, but it says closer to. Closer is not the same distance. You have to get closer. So by the way, we count, ignoring everything, we just count hexes for this kind of thing. It's not closer. So I'm going to leave that unit there, and well, if you have any thoughts on that, just please let me know. So okay, this video is dragging for too long. Hope we'll be able to render it stuff. But okay, ascending order, let's get to this unit, and let's see this. Yeah, this kind of reach, of course. 1, 2, 3, and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this unit can reach both these hexes, because here it's the Donets River, but not this hex here, this hex side here. If you look closely at it, you can see it's not as the line is not as thick, and it's it's got a border, and these according to the terrains effect chart are minor. You can see that here in the terrain effect chart. That's a minor river. It's got borders, and this is the Donets River, and which has a thicker line, and the Dnieper River, which is thicker and more blue, let's say. Okay, a deeper shade of blue, less in the trans effect chart. In the map I can, yeah, there is a slight difference in the map too, but yeah, this hex is clearly a minor river, so I should have thought about it earlier. But okay, both these hexes are reachable. They're both yeah, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's clearly there. And could it go 1, 2, 3? No, it can't go here. Well, because the moment he comes here, he has to stop. The moment he enters here, he has to stop. Same goes here. Okay, so these are 2 hexes. We have measured the distance. It's 10 hexes, but the starting hex now is here, and I have a feeling that this is going to happen, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 11. The starting hex is 11 hexes away. These hexes are 10 away. Counting again: 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So this unit comes 1, 2, 3, and just let's leave it hanging there until we check the preferences. Okay, because both are equidistant. Okay, prefer hex targeted exclusively by the active front. I mean, okay, this is the okay, they are not. Okay, occupied by the listed thermal strength, not across the Dnieper. No, it's Donetsk River here. Highest VP value. Yeah, it's for the hex selection. A starting unit. Just not to German. No, this is to select the hex you're going to attempt to reach, not so. But it moves. Okay, tiebreakers first, and then 925. Yeah, again. Let's see what will happen. Movement method tiebreakers. If more than one destination meets the requirement, prefer the closest to the unit's objective. They're both equidistant and both are empty. The hex farthest in the compass direction, which is, if I remember correctly, is west. Yep, it's west. So it would go here. And again, now we have moved. We just moved adjusting to a German unit. So 925. Prefer a hex within the current Soviet operation limit. Everything, all hexes. B. A hex that would cause the German unit to become surrounded. No chance. A hex in Soviet support. Everything is in Soviet support right now. A hex not adjusting to Soviet unit. It isn't. An empty or guard, both are empty. A hex not occupied by an active unit. So there is no reason. My interpretation here is that both these hexes are good, and we have already occupied one of them. So there is no reason to make an adjustment. I mean, if since both hexes are the same for as far as 925 is considered, then we would again go to the tiebreakers, and then we would again end up in this hex. So I think that's that the unit just stays there. So that was movement method 2. This unit has moved. I have indicated that, and let's go to movement method 3, which does not apply because it's open supply lines. It's turn 3 onwards. So then cause surround, and yes, that's interesting. The cause surround, because then with this unit we will have to try and surround. Oh no, doesn't have to be this unit. Cause surround, move the hex that if by the unit would cause an unsurrounded to become surrounded. And yeah, I mean this is unsurrounded, right? No, is it? Yes, it is, because this hex is not controlled by the Soviet unit, and this hex is not controlled. So yeah, I mean the only way to get it, no, this unit doesn't affect it because it doesn't control, it only controls this hex, not this one either. Well, these hexes are controlled, this hex too, but these hexes are not. So we have to control both these hexes, and in order for this to happen, I don't think it's going to happen with one unit. I mean, we could get it here. It wouldn't alter anything. We could try and, yeah, I think it's got a point to move here, and then we would control this hex, but this hex would still be uncontrolled. I think the only realistic way to get this unit surrounded is for a Soviet unit to go here, and I don't see this happening because there are zones of control here. You can't get past these hexes. You can't get past, no, I can't get past these hexes actually. So this unit can't reach. I mean, let's try and see what happens if we go 1 plus, no, 1 would be zone of control. What am I saying? What I was thinking? And 2, then it would be zone of control. Yeah, so it has to take the long way around. Not enough points to go any other way. So it could be 1, 2, and 3, and 4. and yeah, it would stop. It would control these two hexes, okay, or even if it gets 1, 2, 3, it can get 1, 2, 3, and 4, and control these two hexes, but no way they can control this hex. So this unit, they cannot cause surround, at least not this unit by itself. Okay, next, to Soviet VP hex. Okay, number 5, Soviet VP hex. Any unit moved an empty or garrison target for the active front. Okay, I think the only one we've got is here, way up here, Valuiki, something like that, but it also has to be proximate to German unit. I mean, look at the concentration of units here. No way we can achieve proximity, nowhere for the German units to go, so it's not happening. 6, adjacent to German VP hex, and I think that's what's going to happen. Move to hex adjacent to German VP hex targeted for the active front. Yeah, Belgorod is indeed. And I know, can it reach it? Prefer hex. Let me see. It's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4. Yes, can do it. So yes, prefer a hex occupied by the list the highest VP value. Okay, a Soviet unit starting adjustment, it's not certain, so it's going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, and I don't think we'll have to make any adjustments, because no adjustments can be made, but just for the just to be thorough, let's check this one as well. Okay, it ends when ending, prefer a hex within the current Soviet operatives. A hex that would cause the German unit to become surrounded. No. A hex in Soviet support everything right now. A hex not adjusting to Soviet unit, and that what has caused Grant, well, me also, but mainly Grant, so many problems. I didn't have the situation come up too often. Not adjusting to a Soviet unit. I mean, this hex is adjusting to this unit, which has moved earlier, and then according to this preference we would have to move the unit here, so it would be stacked with but not adjacent, but it's not happening here, because no matter what 935 says, we have to abide by the rules, and it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to reach it started a hex further, and you can't extend your movement points by tactical adjustment. So the other hex that would be considered for 925 would be here, and yeah, I would do that probably if I was a human player, or maybe not, but you can't go here again, because that then would be, if it can't reach it by itself, you can't, because it's zone of control to zone of control. You can't leave this zone of control and go directly to another hex and control. I mean, you have to be able to reach this, the unit to reach it by itself, so it would be 1, 2, 3. Again, not enough points, and again, it's zone of control, zone to control. So it stays here. It stays here. No, it's not. I interpret it. It's not. I mean, the tactical adjustments are just that, to adjust things. They're not. It does. I don't think it means that if you can't adjust, you can't make the move. You make the move, and if you are able to, you adjust to a better hex for the upcoming attack. So that's it, movement wise. And now with the active units, as we check, we make the attack check, and God, I think this is happening. This is happening, and I think I may have made a mistake of opening this corridor. Okay, let's see what we can do. Okay, attack check sequence, ascending numerical order. So this is going to be the lead unit. The active unit is the lead unit, so these two units no assault coordination, of course, no reserve units to be placed. These two units against this unit, the other one is just the objective. So it's 6-2 framed. Yeah, it's not an improved position. Yeah. Oh, it's going to happen. So these guys are 6, and let's see the situational strength for the defender. Improved position, no. Defender adjusting to one or more supplied units, it's not. All attackers across Donetsk or Dnieper river. Well, this is across the river, but this is not, so only if it's all attackers. All German units dispersed, no. All German units out of supply, no. And yeah, I think this is the mistake that I have made, not covering this approach. That will cost me Belgorod and maybe the game. So it's 6-2. It's 3-1. So 3-1 or better. No tactical value to calculate. I haven't forgotten anything. So this attack will go ahead. So it's clearly not an overwhelming attack. No reserve units can be used. Can be placed. What do you think? They can't yet. So first step: add active reserve. No reserves. The attack is not. Draw Soviet card and apply its combat, and this is actually the last card. That's interesting. The draw pile, and it's a reinforced battle. Oh god, now things are going to get ugly for us. And it's a reuse card. I mean, I can't believe it. Yeah, I mean, okay, so it's a reinforced. Just let me put it here, and draw Soviet and apply its combat tactics. So it's reinforced battle. You remember this card? Those who have played enemy action or done certainly remember this card. That was the way we tried to get some movement. So reinforced battle. Soviet combat. I was looking at German combat. Reinforced. Select an active or inactive on-map unit stack that could reach the combat in a single movement to participate. And guess what? To participate in the combat. A unit stack is eligible if it is in the same front as a defending or attacking unit. So it's Voronezh. Yes. And did not move or attack in the current activation. No. And is not adjusting to an active army unit. Again, no. This move restrictions of 923 apply. Yeah, that's all. Does not apply if no Shugin are eligible to sorry, it's Soviet attack. Okay, the unit stack moves adjusting if there okay, so I'm afraid this stack it's interesting. Yeah, this stack is going to reinforce battle, but the restrictions of 923 apply. But let me see what it says here. I'll show you my hesitation, but let me see, maybe it doesn't apply here. The unit stack moves adjacent to the hex under attack if not already there, and may split up. I was wondering because these are 6 hexes and as a stack it wouldn't be able to. Okay, to split up. If more than one stack, prefer the stack. Okay, no stacks. Prefer the stack if no. Can any other? No. This is adjusting to a unit. I mean, why does this say active German unit? But well, more than one stack reach the combat. Maybe this would go 2, 3, 4. No, it can't reach the combat. I mean, only this stack can reach the combat right now. Soviet attack, yes. That stack that will cause around the stack with the greatest strength, yeah, obviously. The stack with the lowest strength, okay. Reinforcing units can't advance after combat, okay, good to know, but could we cause surround with this stack? I mean, it would be two, oh sorry, it would be one, and let's do it one again, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, no. They can go 1, 2, maybe you can go 1, 2, can go 1, 2, 3, but they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, no. So what they're going to do is they're going to split and I mean, they may split up. Well, does it mean that they will go this way? Because no, then they wouldn't be able to, you know. Yeah, that's interesting. And which selector goes where? Reinforced battle. The play rate doesn't help at all. It says select an active on map. Okay, that could reach the combat, and I think it can. A unit stack is eligible with the same front. Yeah, they do not move attack in the current activation. No, it moved in the previous impulse, in the previous activation. Same impulse but previous activation, not the current activation. It is not adjusted to an active. Both. The movement restrictions 923 apply to reinforcement units. I mean, no restrictions. Broken here. Does not apply. Okay. Soviet attack. The unit stacks move adjacent to the hex under attack if not and may split up. Yeah, I think that's what it means. Moves adjacent, it may split up, so it means that, you know, it's not very clear. Let me see if there's something in the rules, in the rule book about it. Just let me check a little bit. Sure, I can't find anything in the rules, but yeah, I think that's the spirit of the instruction in the command tactic. And now that's interesting. This is an interesting situation because what has just happened. I'm sorry. I think what has just happened is that the attack became an overwhelming attack because let me find, yeah, because now it's what, it's 14 to 2, it's 7 to 1, and 8 to 2. Oh, let me 4 and 3, 4 3. This is one step. Just lost the game, I'm afraid. But okay, it's 14 to 2, it's 7 to 1, and the attack has odds 8 to 1 or greater. It's not. The attack has odds of 6 to 1 or greater and qualifies as a large attack. Well, is it now a large attack? Because it's 2 cheats here and 2 cheats here, so it's 4, 5, 6, and 7 for, yeah, and it is a large attack. And okay, well, the not any difference, but if the attack is overwhelming, I don't add the reserve units. You know, it will happen already. Do not draw a card. Well, it has become, if a Soviet attack becomes overwhelming due to the card draw, do not apply the auxiliary card. I mean, no auxiliary card either way. So that's it. That's it. So we now what? Now it's show time. It's 7 to 1 and 7 cheats, right? Right. It's 7. It's 14 to 2. It's yeah, 7 to 1. and 70 hits. Okay, well, let's clear some space. We're going to need it. I think, yeah, the space here. Okay. This is, I'm afraid this is a, unless some miracle happens, this is a goner. I mean, even 2 hits. I mean, Belgorod is already in Soviet hands, if you ask me. Okay, dispersed and supplied, no. Deferred and adjusted, no, unfortunately no. So let me get this here. Next one, less than 3 to 1, more than 4 to 1. Okay, that's our first hit. Attacker artillery, no. We're at zone of control. Defender artillery, no. This goes here. 4. Defender dispersed and supplied or supported, no. Deferred and adjusted, again, no. Okay, that's 4. That's 5. City town, oh, yes, and the other one, what is it? Clear, no, city town. Wow, that's good. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we seeing? Let me see. Let's not get too excited. There you go. 5 to 1. Greater than the 3 to 1, but the preference is the 5 to 1. And there we go. That's 6, and we got another one. That's 7. So unless it's D minus 2, we are dispersed and supplied. No. Woods broken, again, no. So it's what? It's D2. It's D2. We have to take 2 hits. Okay, 2 hits. We have to take 1 hit because let me remind you that we are in that maybe so I should get some dice like Grant has and record these hits, but okay. Defender is has to satisfy 2 hits. Okay, so -1 for the city. We're in a city, and I don't think that an overwhelming attack does anything. So hit adjustments. If the defender occupies town city, the total number is reduced. Are they attacking? Are across all defending units the application of any of the following may increase or if all units if all German units defending in combat are eliminated, no. Well, so it's well, 0, it's D2. So D2 and -1 for the town, it's D1. So let's just get these out of the way. So we've got to satisfy these. 1, the attacker, 1. So I can just retreat 1 hex without further consequences and leave. Yeah, I mean, no options here. Yeah, no options here because there's nothing. It's just a 1-step unit. So I take this, and the set situation has become desperate now. I take this hit and I'm gone, and again Belgorod would be in Soviet hands, so nothing, and I don't gain anything. But if I retreat 1 hex, then just maybe this unit will live to fight another day. And we've got actually 2 options for retreat, because I can't go here, of course, or here, enemy zones of control, so it's going to be here or here. I think, yeah, I'm going to fall back to the Kharkov. I don't think I'm avoiding this, so this unit will retreat here. It will absorb its 1 hit, so now it's 1 attacker hit. We have to apply, and let's see, we have satisfied all our hits, so the Soviets don't get a benefit. Doesn't say anything about overwhelming attacks. No. Okay. Assigning hits to Soviet attackers. First hit has to be a step loss, but which unit is going to apply Soviet step loss to the unit with the most steps? So it's going to be one of, yes, this or this. Most steps. Among units with most steps, the loss to the unit with the higher selector. A higher selector is this one. So I've got to get its replacement. Just give me a second. So that's it. 309 2-step, and it has taken its step loss, so we can get this out of the way. So now Soviet advance. Remember again, let me just put these units here. Okay, so and advance after combat, of course. All infantry, yeah, well, no, well, that's a no-brainer actually. Just taking the order, yeah, it's ascending order, so this unit primary direction into VP hex, no units there, it will auto advance here. And just to show the system of John Brown, these units have attacked, so he turns some 90 degrees completely. That, yeah, that's okay. So Belgorod, so adjusting the Soviet VPs to 7. Okay, next unit is going to be this unit 11, and okay, again into VP hex, they're out of advance. I mean, I'm not second infantry, no second. Already one unit in the hex, so it's 1 to 6 10-sided dice, and that was a 3. So this unit also advances into Belgorod, yeah, securing the town for the Soviets and possibly creating a problem to our supply lines later in the game, but it's not time to, you know. Yeah, that's a big problem, right? Yeah, I'm afraid that was critical. We're going to have a big problem next round. So yeah, this concludes the battle. And yeah, forgot, maybe you have already caught it, it's not going to be reused, this card. We are lucky, because reuse if drawn during combat. Didn't read the second sentence. No reuse on a match turn or when 3 or fewer cards are in the Soviet draw pile. So that was the last card actually on the draw pile, so it gets discarded like any other card. So let's turn these the right way up. And yes, they have reached their objective, the 40th Army. I mean, no, yeah, they have, but it's not going to relocate until their next activation. So yeah, so I'll stop here and come back for my second, for my last impulse, and the last impulse of turn 1, because I want to think a little bit about what I'm going to do, because the situation, yeah, that was a mistake. I should have got the unit into Belgorod, because you see here, this starts our German edge, and yeah, this was an important crossroads for us to get supplies. These units of Volchansk and these units of Korpros and the goods, I don't think I will be able to get them, to get some supplies. We'll have to wait and see. Well, so I think now it's time to start making plans for defending Kharkov. So let's just discard, no, let me do it the proper way. So this was the Voronas, the 69th Army units that activated and made such a big mess, let's say, for lines. So this is discarded, and now no auxiliary card, no command agent, no cards in the Soviet draw pile. I mean, we would have reshuffled the draw pile if there was not, we were not able to draw a combat card, but that reshuffle wouldn't count. I mean, we wouldn't put them, but here we just draw the combat card. And then now the Soviet impulse is over, and we're about to have the last German impulse, and then it's going to be the end of the turn, but I will do that in the next video. I want to think some things, and I do want to take my time and analyze what has happened during turn 1. So that's all for now. See you in the next part.